What's up, everyone? I'm Mara, the hip-hop socialite, and this is Seen and Heard TV, the go-to show for exclusive celebrity news and interviews. And we're coming at you from Cedar Park here in the Boogie Down Bronx, where DJ Kool Herc used to host some of the first hip-hop parties. So my current guilty pleasure is the new VH1 reality series, Love and Hip Hop. The show follows 4 women, 5 if you include Swiss Beats' ex-wife Mashonda, as they deal with the ups and downs of having their lives connected to the male-dominated hip-hop industry.
You think you know hip-hop? The lifestyle, the fame, the money. But if you're a woman in the game, hip-hop is a world filled with obstacles.
In this special Love and Hip Hop edition of Seen and Heard TV, we talked to a few of the show's stars, starting with Olivia. Last week, when I caught up with the R&B diva, she spoke very candidly on the show, her relationship with 50 Cent, her new album, and of course, Somaya Reece. So you're currently starring in Love and Hip Hop, which I caught the sneak preview the other night, and I think that's going to be my new guilty pleasure.
I'm glad you love it.
50 did come out after you left GU and said some things. Like, I didn't believe that you guys ended, your situation with him on a bad note, but judging by some of the things he said, one would assume that you guys did end things on a bad note. Was that the case?
Well, he was a little upset because, we hadn't spoken. He and I always had a great relationship. We speak all the time, every day on the phone, and, we hang out with each other. And he was just upset. You know what I'm saying? He's cancer. He says things for shock value. I already know that. So it didn't bother me. And I know that was him. I know that was him just trying to get, me to just reach out. But he and I spoke. Everything is fine. We're on good terms. He told me that he was just upset. And, as men do sometimes, they just say stuff when they're upset. No big deal.
Ain't that the truth? All right. So now, who are you currently signed to?
I can't tell you who because we say that during the show.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you talk about the album that you're working on or anything?
I can. The album is actually done. It's called Show the World. I'm very excited about that. I'm working on it for probably the past 2 years. Great bunch of producers on there, and I purposely didn't have any features because I just feel like every time you saw me, I was with a feature already. Some of the producers are Missy Elliott, Brian Michael Cox, Brian Leslie, Mario Winan, Tony Dofat, Sean Kingston, and the list goes on. I'm just very excited, to even be able to work with such a great bunch of producers.
So I know apparently you and Chrissy are the closest on the show, judging from what I've seen thus far. Mm-hmm. So were you friends before the show began to tape, or is that something that happened as you guys were taping the show?
Not at all. We met right before we all decided to do the show, and we just built our bond from there. So the bond that you see on the TV is definitely brand new, and we just clicked.
All right. So it also looks like it's going to be you and Chrissy on one end and Somaya Reece on the other. And apparently Emily is going to be on the neutral side. Do you think it's really possible for someone to be totally neutral?
Not at all, and she learns her lesson throughout the show, so you'll see what I mean.
To be quite honest, I didn't know about Emily until recently, and she's been with Fab, according to her, 8 years, and I've never fully seen him embrace their relationship, even most recently with this interview with All Hip Hop. He didn't come out and say, yeah, that's my girl. He kind of almost want to say BS a little bit about it. Mm-hmm. I know that's got to be hurtful for her. Have you given her any advice or,
I definitely have. You definitely see Chrissy and I school her during the show. And, her eyes are kind of open now. I guess you need other outside people who didn't know to kind of tell you about your situation. Because I guess maybe her friends weren't really telling her, And as you can see, Chrissy and I are very straight up and real. And we just tell her the real deal, and then she has to make her own decision. So you can't fault her for that. She's loved him, and she said she's been with him for that long. So, if any woman was in that situation, being like you have a child with them and you're supposedly in love with that person, we don't know how we would feel in her position, So I can't fault her for that because she's in that situation.
All right, so you also said in a recent interview that you appreciated Somaya's role as the villain of the show because she's clearly going to be the villain of the show, but you don't like the way she went about it. So what exactly did you mean by that?
She's one of those people who does things for shock value, and then when she realizes what she's done, she tries to take it back and act like nothing ever happened, and she wants to be your friend and apologizing, and I don't do that. Like, if I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you, period. I don't do nothing for the camera. Like, this is real. So if she's gonna act like that and then try to take it back afterwards, you look crazy. You look crazy.
Yeah, so she basically you're basically saying she comes off as two-facing.
Oh, yes, she very much is. And, you know, she does the same thing with Chrissy. That's how everything really started. She was mad at Chrissy. Chrissy and I are friends. Obviously, I have Chrissy's back. And, you know, obviously I'm in the situation because I'm her friend, so she gets upset. And it's real petty.
All right. Now, is a video clip that's out now? I just saw it actually because I was trying to rush to get my last minute notes before y'all called, and she said something about she ought to appreciate me talking about her because I'm making her relevant again. Was she referring to you?
That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. When she did that video, she was coerced into doing it, and she quickly apologized. She called my manager every second, crying, saying she wants to be my friend, and it was never supposed to come out, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, wait, you did it, and then now you want to take it back? You look crazy. So I don't do nothing for no reason. Like, I'm gonna stick to what I do. So you know what I'm saying? If that's what you did and that's how you feel, then own up to it. Don't punk out now. You're supposed to be that hardcore chick. Don't punk up now.
Okay. Oh yeah, let me ask you something. Do you think you guys will do another season of Love and Hip Hop based on, you know, your experiences taping the first season?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Have VH1 been, you know, talking to you guys about doing another season?
Of course. They're very excited. We did 1.9 million. They're very excited. And that was just on the sneak preview.
Oh, cool. All right. So you guys not going to do anything like replacing anybody, whatever, because even though sometimes you guys don't get along, like particularly with Somaya, I like the chemistry that you guys have.
Well, they wouldn't replace me, Emily, and Chrissy, so that's all we worried about.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Olivia. Appreciate it.
Okay. Take care, Mommy.
On the other end of the spectrum is Somaya Reece. When I interviewed the feisty Latina a few days ago, she had a few things of her own to say.
Okay, first of all, on Love and Hip Hop, which is the show you're currently starring on, a lot has been going on with the show. You have this ongoing riff with Chrissy and Olivia. It seemed like Emily is going to be kind of the neutral party in this whole situation. But
Emily is.
Yeah, Emily. I really like Emily too. But anyways, all right. So recently, or I think it was earlier this week, as a matter of fact, Olivia had her interview, and she mentioned your comment on the, I think it's the premiere episode where you said something about Jim Jones looking at your ass, and Chrissy, that was her first time seeing that, supposedly. And according to Olivia...
You know what, I'm just going to have to say right now, I never said that. If you can see how the editing is, I never said that he was looking at my butt. Clearly that's not what it was. They edited to it that way. They asked me, was he hitting on you? And that's when I was like, he was totally professional. I was like, clearly I don't know what happens if I turn around, but, you know, he's a professional. He never once hit on me ever. And I have to say, she has a good man. He was not even on it. Even if he was, I wouldn't have taken it, so.
Okay, so at some point that needs to be cleared up then, because according to Olivia, Chrissy's looking for you behind that situation. But maybe you guys can sit down.
I mean, you know, if that's, you know, if they want to continue to, you know, to live that type of lifestyle and be gangster and, you know, say they're looking for me on the streets, then, you know, I mean, that's I guess that's what they do, but that's how I handle things, you know. I have a very non-violent movement for violence against women. I speak up for things of that nature, so I don't represent any of that stuff, and I don't really know exactly what that chick said, so, she's just talking, as always.
Okay, now, can I be perfectly honest with you? You seem totally different now that I'm talking to you one-on-one than you do on television. You really...
I am.
Yeah, no, that's a good...
That's because you're not attacking me.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what it's... Okay.
That's because you're not confronting me, you know? You'll see during the whole show, I try my best to talk to them. I am always welcoming. I'm always like, why can't we just be female empowering? And that's not the situation. There were so many things that were filmed that didn't make the show. And, you know, I'm a strong woman, but if you attack me, I mean, what am I going to do? Bow my head? Absolutely not. No.
Okay. All All right, because there are some things that I know a lot of the viewers of the show want to get to the bottom of. Like, I myself spoke to Olivia recently, and she was talking about, like, how you're one way in front of the camera, like, talking gangster in front of the camera, basically, and then when the cameras are off, you're a different person.
I thought gangster to her face, and she ran into a security van. You can definitely post that.
Oh, okay. So,
And that's what that came down, and you're going to see it on the episode. I wasn't lying about it. It's the truth. It's what happened, and ask Emily, ask Chrissy, ask anybody. They tried to get her out of the van. She refused to come out.
I hear that. Let me just ask you, though, just to clear up something else she said. I bluntly asked her when she said that, though. So I asked her, were you two-faced? And she said, yeah. So
You never got a chance to get to know me. That's the problem. See, everybody's gonna forever be confused about that because she never got it. This is like sort of what happened. We never got a chance to get to know each other ever. So there's always gonna be what she feels and what I feel. I personally am still a welcoming person. I'm whatever. I'm out here making my money. I have nothing negative going on in my life. I mean, there's nothing really negative I even have to say about any of them.
I have to ask you something else about this infamous video where you said something about, I'm talking about her, I'm making her relevant again. Like, I hear what you're saying about, it's not coming from your end, but then when I saw that, I was like, oh, that was kind of harsh.
You know what? I really, the way I felt at that particular moment versus where I am now, we have two completely different places. However, I will say I tried my best to be nice to homegirl. I just, whatever I could, because, in the show, it's like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to fight like cats and dogs to tooth and nail, or are we going to try to make this work?
So do you think the show is going to be, it seems like it's already been a career booster. I mean, you've definitely gotten your grind on and hustle on. If you come a long way on your own, I have to commend you for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's really what I want to say. Like, all the beats that's happening kind of on the on the show. It's really, we're in a different place a year from now, and that's not really the type of people that I meet on a daily basis. This is sort of just like what happened for this show and meeting these girls. My grind will always be the same. I'm gonna always do it by myself. If I can't have, if I don't have a manager or a friend helping me, I'm doing it by myself. I've done everything that I am by myself. But I will say this, I always remain a positive person. You can't stop my grind, no matter how much you don't like me. It's fine. Eventually, you have to get over it, or I hope you do, because life is too short to live with hate in your heart.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, though. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Be sure to catch all the drama on Love and Hip Hop every Monday night on VH1. All right, everyone, that's my time for now. But before I go, I want you to be sure to enter the Seen and Heard TV contest giveaway. All you have to do is follow us on Twitter at Real Urban TV or at Hip Hop Socialite and tweet us the answer to the following question. During our interview, what did Olivia say is the name of her upcoming album? We'll announce the winners via Twitter on April 15th. All right, everyone, until next time,